Jumbo friends, my name is Sam. I am going to be your guide and driver while we're out on safari at the Harambe Wildlife Reserve for the next couple of weeks. And we are going to have lots of fun together. Now up above your heads there is an animal spotting guide that does have all the animals on the reserve. You may not see all of them. It's a pretty large reserve out here, about 800 square miles. But I know all the best spots and we usually have some pretty good luck, so we'll see what we can find. Now this is a photo safari, so please make sure your cameras are out and ready to take pictures. I can't stop for every animal we see, though I will stop for some of them. The ones I can't stop for, I'll make sure to move very slowly past so everyone gets a nice good look. Now if you've got little kids, it's perfectly fine with me. If they sit on your lap, sometimes it does help them see better. Just make sure they stay there, please. Now our first stop is going to be the little Ituri Forest. Many animals in this area do have coat patterns that will blend into their surroundings. You're going to want to keep an eye out for anything that I may not quite see. I do see an animal moving behind that tree stump way back there in the corner. He's really dark in color and has some striped legs. That's an okapi. Maybe he'll walk out here in a moment. Now, a lot of people do think that okapi are related to zebra because of their striped legs and horse-like appearance, but they are the only living relatives of the giraffes. If we see any giraffes along the way, you'll notice both okapi and giraffe have very similarly shaped heads and necks, and both have prehensile tongues, which means their tongues can be used as tools to grab leaves and branches they can't quite reach on their own. The main animal we're looking for here in the forest, though, is a black rhino. We do often see them down here by this watering hole to the left-hand side. Now, we get to see one, we'll be pretty lucky. They are an endangered species. There's only 5,000 black rhinos left in the world today, and that is unfortunately due to poaching. Poachers will go after their horns, which are made out of keratin, the same substance that makes up our fingernails and our hair. Those horns can grow about 3 to 6 inches a year. That is so you can tell how old they might be, and since they tend to blend in pretty well, sometimes that's the first thing you'll see. Well, it looks like down here to the left-hand side is one of my favorite animals on the reserve. This is a bongo. It's a little hard to see from the other side of the truck, but please stay seated, guys. Might see a few more up ahead, too. Now, the bongos are known as the ghosts of the forest due to their shy and reclusive natures. You probably notice his horns are slanted backwards. That is to help him move through the brush just a little bit easier. The way you tell the difference between male and female bongos is by looking at their horns. There are some lady bongos up at the top of the hill there. Male bongos' horns will not cross, while female bongos' horns will. We're going to head out of the Ituri Forest and down to the Safi River. And we do sometimes see hippos in this area. A group of hippos is called a float, and they are nocturnal animals, so they might be sleeping under the water at this time of day. Just keep an eye out. If you see something that looks like a giant rock, you're gonna want to take a second look. It might be a giant hippo. It looks like there is one. He's way back there in the corner, but I can't stop here. I might actually see a few more up ahead. Now, male hippos can weigh up to 5,500 pounds and hold their breath for 8 minutes at a time. So if they'd like, they can actually walk along the bottom of the riverbed. Looks like there are some pink-backed pelicans out here to the left-hand side. Now, during mating season, the feathers on their backs will turn pink. So it's not mating season at the moment, but there are some nests out there. Might be a few eggs. Keep your eyes peeled. You never really know what you're going to find when you're out on safari, especially when you're with me. Well, it looks like we are coming up on a bridge here, and I'm going to go slowly over it. That does mean very slowly in Swahili. It looks a little rickety. It's probably for the best. If you look down below to the left, you'll see some Nile crocodiles. Now, when crocs are hot, they will open their mouths to let out excess heat, but be careful. Those jaws can snap shut with 2,000 pounds per square inch of pressure. And that is hard enough to crush bone. So I think we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We're going to leave the Safi River behind and head on up to my favorite part of the reserve, the Savannah. It stretches across most of East Africa and is a completely different ecosystem than what we've seen so far on our safari. When speaking of completely different, coming up here to the right-hand side of the truck baobab tree. Now, baobab trees are sometimes called upside-down trees because their branches look like roots. They will go leafless 9 months out of the year and can store water in their trunks, so when they get large like that, it actually means that they have lived for thousands of years. And there are many legends as to how the baobab tree came about, but one of my favorites is about how all the animals on the savannah were fighting to be king. And of course the lions won, but the hyenas weren't too happy about this, so they played a trick on the lions. They planted the baobab trees upside down, and they've been laughing about it ever since. So you can see an animal over there to the right. Let's pull around. Looks like the road's going to take us that way. But the savannah acts as a superhighway for many animal migrations throughout the year and is home to many animals like warthogs and wildebeest and, more famously, the giraffes, the elephants, and the lions. So keep your eyes peeled. But like I said, I know all the best spots. Let's see what else we can find. But this is a very beautiful part of the reserve, and it is the wild Africa we're all trying to protect. Oh yeah, the road's going to bring us right up next to that Ankole cattle over there, so we're going to head on out there. Looks like we're coming up on these red-orange mounds here, though. Does anyone know what they are? That's right, they are termite mounds. A little bit worse than anthills. They're made out of dirt and termite saliva and are as hard as concrete from sitting in the sun all day. Elephants really like them, though. They'll actually use them as back scratchers. And eventually, they'll be filed down to much smaller lumps, kind of like you can see on the right-hand side. And once they get about that size, the antelope out here will stand on top of them, and they'll use them as lookout posts for lions hiding in the grass. So we're coming up on two Ankole cattle here. There'll be one on the left and one on the right side. Ankole cattle are sometimes called Watusi cattle, after the Watusi tribe, which originally domesticated them. They're one of the oldest cattle breeds in the world, the only domesticated animals on the reserve, and those horns of theirs can reach about 6 feet in length. Now, even though their horns are so large, they're not as heavy as you'd think. They are somewhat hollow on the inside with a honeycomb-like structure, and they will act as a cooling system. Blood will circulate up through the tops of their horns. It will cool off and then flow back down into their bodies, keeping them nice and cool in the hot African sun. Out there I can see a few more animals. Now the gray ones up on top of the hill there are some white bearded wildebeest. They have one of the largest animal migrations in the world. I have heard them called gnu before, spelled G-N-U. The G is silent after the low grunting noise they make. But they are named after an Afrikaans word that means wild beast, because up close, they do look a little scary. And we are going to get a little bit closer to them too. There's also a couple of Maasai giraffe out here. Come around the corner, you get a great look at the wildebeest. There's also some antelope up on the hill behind them. Those are sable antelope. About 3 months ago, they actually gave birth, so there are some little ones out there. Those are the babies. We've also got a large tan antelope over here, and we're pretty lucky to get to see him this close. This is a Patterson Zealand. He's the largest antelope on the reserve. Male Patterson Zealands can weigh up to 2,000 pounds and reach about 6 feet tall. Now, just like humans, giraffes have about 7 vertebrae in their necks, and male giraffe can stand up to 20 feet tall. A group of giraffes is called a tower. And I mentioned their tongues before. They are prehensile. They're also 18 inches long, which is in fact long enough to clean their eyes, their nose, and their ears. Which is pretty gross, but kind of awesome. The two we're looking at on the right-hand side are Maasai giraffes. You can't tell. They have a little bit of a darker pattern to their coats, and it's much more jagged. The other type of giraffe on the reserve are reticulated giraffes. They have a lighter pattern to their coat, and they actually get their name from the Latin word reticulata, which means net, in reference to the net-like pattern on their coats. Looks like we're coming into a different part of the savannah here. Judging from the tree that's pushed over, it's probably elephant territory. So you're going to want to keep your eyes peeled. They're pretty hard to miss though. Male elephants can weigh almost 14,000 pounds. Keep my eye out for any elephants that might be around here. In the meantime, on the left-hand side is an area we call Monkey Point. And I do see some mandrills over here. Now, mandrills are very social creatures. They'll spend most of the day grooming each other, as it encourages the social bonds between them. You can always tell which mandrill is the more dominant one by looking at the bright markings on his face. He's also usually the largest. Well, no elephants just yet, but that's okay. I know a great shortcut we might see a few at, so we're going to head up there in just a moment. But a good rule to follow is if you see an elephant all by himself, he is most likely a male or bull African elephant. At about 13 to 15 years old, males will actually leave their mother's side and live mostly solitary lives. And elephants can live to be about 70 to 80 years old. They have very human-like lifespans. Though sometimes males do form bachelor herds, normally if you see a group of elephants together, those are the females and their calves. I know a great spot right up ahead, a little bit further into elephant territory. So let's head across this bridge here and we'll head on up to it. Oh, and a good way to tell the difference between African and Asian elephants is by looking at their ears. African elephants tend to have larger ears. They're also in the shape of the continent of Africa. So if we see any elephants up there... Whoa! Whoa! Okay, everyone, just hang on. Whoa! Okay, we're gonna make it across, y'all. Save your driver! Alright, guys, let's get off this bridge. Front tires, please, please, please. I haven't been to Star Wars weekends yet. Please, 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 please. Back tires, let's get out of here. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so sorry. I did not know that that was gonna happen. Well, I think we're gonna avoid going over any more bridges, but we'll head under this one and through these red clay pits. Ooh, and I do see some tusk marks in the clay on either side. That's a good sign. There might be a few elephants up ahead. He'll often eat the red clay for the nutrients in the soil, much like we take our vitamins in the day. Let's go around here, see if we can find some. Now, elephants are a threatened species due to habitat loss in Central Africa, but they are also poached for their tusks, which are made out of ivory and do fetch a high price on the black market. Ooh, and we might be in luck. I'll turn the radio on, let it scan for a bit, see if we can find some music out here for us. Oh, and we might get a little bit of static. It can be hard to pick up the signal sometimes. We've had some pretty good luck so far, except for maybe with that bridge. That was kind of weird. Oh, perfect. I love this song, and I think I can see an elephant right out there. Let's pull around and see if we can get a better look at her. But I'm going to let y'all enjoy the music and the view. If you guys have any questions, now's a great time to ask them. Or if you think of any more while we're out on the rest of our safari, you can always ask me at the end of the tour. I love answering questions. I also really enjoy talking. Can you tell? Oh, on the right-hand side is a much better look at the sable antelope and their babies. They're so cute. Couple elephants. Let's pull up here. A herd of them. So like I said, these are probably females and their calves. Just please stay seated, guys. Thank you. We are also coming up on some pink birds over here on the left-hand side. These are greater flamingos. Now, they're not naturally pink. They will actually start off as gray, and it takes about a year of eating shrimp and other small crustaceans to turn their feathers from gray to pink. They can stand up to 5 feet tall, and a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. Oh, let's take a second look at the elephants over here, too. Well, so far we've had a bloat of hippos, a tower of giraffes, and a flamboyance of flamingos. We're going to head on into the other side of the savannah and we'll see what else is out there. Oh, well, I guess coming out to greet us over here on the left-hand side is an ostrich. Now, ostrich are the largest of the bird species, and they are flightless. They can reach about 40 miles an hour on land, though. I've actually heard that their brains are smaller than their eyeballs, too. And she is a female ostrich. You can tell she's a little bit lighter in color than the males tend to be. So she might have a nest around here, and now they are communal nesters. I do see another ostrich out there to the right too. We're gonna come around, I think I know where she is. Maybe there'll be some nests up there and get a good look at their eggs. There's also some mud pits over here to the left-hand side. That's a great sign there might be some white rhinos in the area. They'll often cover themselves, much like their cousins, the black rhinos, in mud and dirt to protect their skin from the sun. In the meantime, on the left-hand side here, we do sometimes see cheetahs. I do see one. She's right over here. Let's go for it a little bit more. Maybe get rid of this tall grass. Here we go. You look back in the corner. There she's right there behind those two really skinny trees. Oh, yeah. Cheetahs can reach about 60 miles an hour, but only for a few hundred yards. They are the only large cats known to be diurnal, which means they will hunt predominantly during the day, as opposed to being nocturnal. There's two more right up here to the left-hand side, too. And also, unlike other cats, their claws do not retract, and they rely more on their sense of sight than their sense of smell to catch their prey. Speaking of large cats, we are coming up on a copay here. Now, a copay is this outcropping of rocks you see to the left. Oh, yes! Coming up here on the left-hand side, there's a small pride of lions right up here. I see two females and a male. We go forward here a little bit more. I'm going to go around the front of the copay, see if we can get a good look at all three of them. Oh, and there's going to be a white rhino up here on the right-hand side, too. So I'll stop right between them. Oh, two white rhinos. Hey there, guys. Now, lions are inactive 18 to 20 hours during the day, so this is pretty normal. A lot of people do think it's the males that will hunt, but actually, male lions will hang back and protect the pride while the females go out and hunt. And to help with the lion livestock problem in Africa, we've actually worked with local farmers to build structures called living walls. These walls are made out of chain link and actual trees. They create a natural barrier that the lions won't cross and keep both lions and livestock safe from harm. Might see those white rhinos again, so keep your eyes peeled. But before we do, we're coming up on some burrows here. Judging from their size and shape, they probably belong to warthogs. Might be some long, fuzzy rocks with tusks. Oh, there they are. See this orange ridge here? They're in the burrow underneath it. I'm going to go really slow so everyone gets a good look. Warthogs are the largest burrowing mammal. They'll sometimes reuse other animal burrows to hide from predators like lions. Oh, here's the ostrich I saw, and it looks like there are some eggs here. These eggs can weigh about 3 to 5 pounds when they're laid and take 45 days to hatch. And there's the white rhinos again. Oh, looks like the ostrich is going to cross the road here. Hey guys, why did the ostrich cross the road? I don't know, you have to ask her. They've got really bad memory, she probably doesn't even know. Where are you going? Now, white rhinos are a threatened species due to, you guessed it, poaching. Poachers will go after their horns as well. It's hard to keep up with poachers these days as they're very well funded and have some of the best technology available. But we have started working with the Lewa, which means beautiful in Swahili, Wildlife Conservancy over in Kenya, where they've got about 62,000 acres of land that hosts many animal species, including 150 rhinos. Well, we're going to leave the savannah. We're entering into an area we call the Valley Glen, and up ahead I do see some addax. Let's pull around here, see if we get a better look at them. Now you'll see those long spiral horns of theirs. They can reach about 3 feet in length. They're actually a pretty rare animal. There's only 300 addax left in the wild and just 1,000 on reserves. Coming up on the right-hand side are some white birds with yellow bills. These are yellow-billed stork. They have a 5-foot wingspan, which is as long as a greater flamingo is tall. And they'll put just about anything they can fit into those beaks of theirs, including other small birds. Well, friends, we've laughed, we've cried, we've seen lots of really neat animals and encountered a few scary moments. But it looks like our 2-week safari has unfortunately come to an end. It's funny, it felt just like 25 minutes. Well, time does fly when you're having fun, so I'm going to go ahead and drop y'all off at the nearest warden station. Should be right up here around the corner. But if there's anything you'd like to do to better conserve the wildlife we've seen today, today, or wildlife in your own backyard, there are a few things. You could build a bat box, a bird house, or a bird feeder. You could also recycle your old cell phones and old laptops when you upgrade to new ones. There is an ore being mined in Central Africa called coltan, which is used in the production of cell phones and laptops, and greatly reducing the amount of natural habitat of many of the animals that we see today, such as the African elephants. And this is pushing them into areas populated by humans and causing some problems. But scientists are doing research into how elephants communicate with each other to see if there's anything we can do to better protect this species. Now check around you, make sure you have all your belongings and valuables with you. I am going back out for another 2 weeks. Might not see him again until I return. If there's any wilderness explorers on board, the name of my truck is Symbol 1. You'll need that to get your safari badge right up the path here. Now if you look over to your left-hand side, these are two of the rarest animals on the reserve. They're called safari drivers. They're usually very shy. Some of them are very excited though. Now the one on the left we've named Jordan. Yeah. Ah, yes. Oh, looks like she's joined them in the hiding. They're very wise, very knowledgeable, very skilled. A group of safari drivers is called a khaki. That's my favorite joke.